Hello again. We're back in Larchmont after a long absence. Beautiful weather here, spring, pretty wet, everything's green, but enjoying being back home and looking for some interesting things in the cellar. So today we have another bottle from Realm. You know, our sharing the Realm with our friends in France, made me sort of want to look for more in the cellar. And this is a Farella vineyard Realm from 2005. Farella is a vineyard in the northern reaches of Napa in the Coombsville area, up in some sort of mix of volcanic rock and ash deposit areas from ancient geological activity. Sort of a very interesting vineyard with lots of different angles and slopes. So you get different exposures, and you get nice sun in the afternoon, even though it's kind of a little bit higher elevation, a few hundred feet. Primarily grown there is Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot and a few other things. So the Farella family owns the vineyard, and Realm has been working with them since 2003. So we're talking the early days of the Realm story, making single vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon, basically from that vineyard. Very recently, a couple of years ago, maybe a little more, they started partnering with Farella to kind of reach a joint ownership of the vineyard with the Farella family. And in some of the latest vintages, they're introducing a little bit of Merlot from the vineyard also in the mix. But anyway, this is a 2005 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. Let's see what we have here. On the color, it's got that really deep red Cabernet with ever so slight sort of purple around the edges. It still looks very youthful, very dense, very thick. Makes you really wanna dig in. On the nose, it's really unmistakable California Cabernet. It's not overly so. So it's really got some sort of restraint or discipline, if you want, to it. It's not, but you definitely see the fruit, the red and black fruit mixed in, and some of that sort of richness that you get in California Cabernets. This is a 17-year-old bottle. It's just, I opened it and started drinking right away. No decanting, no slow oxidation. And the alcohol on the nose really comes straight through as well as you start taking in the aromas. It's just really still very vibrant, but at the same time, it's not. It's really sort of in a stable place, ready to go. This is what really, the kind of wine that puts a smile on your face, at least for me, that I really get primarily from really good Cabernet Sauvignon from California and really good sort of a Côte Rôtie, Northern Rhone Syrah kind of wines. You know, it's full, it's rich, it just gives without really any sort of accounting. And it's not, but at the same time, it doesn't really hit you over the head. It doesn't have too much fruit. It's just a beautiful combination of fruit and alcohol, and some a little bit of fine tannins, sort of they kind of resolve themselves. It's got that sort of bittersweet chocolate that you get in a really good Cabernet. But again, the whole thing is really kept well together. Maybe the climate over there gives it a little bit more iron, a little bit more complexity because of the slopes and the kind of geology. But it's really a very, very, and I bought these on auction, so it's not like I had them for a long time. And if you can find some of these older vintages where I think the winemaking at the time was a little bit more free form, let's say, and generous. Now it's much more refined and really crafted. So it's a different kind of experience with the wines from around. But back in those days, they were just starting out. They was just working with great material. That Mike, I think, was now at Relic, was the winemaker, and he was just making really good stuff with the stuff he had. And you could tell with some of these older vintages. I'm gonna take another sip. Just really beautiful, really, and it's got a nice finish that never really gets too tannic, but it keeps really reminding you again the fineness and the velvetiness in the end. It's just really something to remember and to think about. Cheers, and see you soon.